with us. So
yeah,
no
we're going to have your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right? And
well, because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over. Right. You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
it
sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free,
right?
By rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto and Pulsechain X, which has been growing pretty strong lately. So big shout out to everybody who's been joining. If you're new to the channel, you love Pulsechain daily updates pretty much, then join up today. Obviously, we're covering Hex. We're actually covering a lot of Hex today. So I hope you guys enjoy the Hex coverage. So kind of cool. Ethereum hits $3,000 though. That's the main headline today, really. I mean, wow. Ethereum hits 3,000. Awesome, mate. Awesome. That's huge. So bring on the ball so early with so much news coming up in the first half of this year. We're going to talk about that. It's amazing. Pulsechain pump opportunities grow. We've got so many projects that are backed up that have to launch on Pulsechain, and we can't wait for them to unleash. Some of them need the Fetch Oracle, of course, which is ramping up. And it's going to be an absolutely incredible time on Pulsechain ahead. We've got so many good projects that you can already invest in at the moment. So it's lots of cool stuff. We're going to get into all that with the market update today. But man, the headline there, $3,000 Ethereum, bring on altcoin season. That's all we can say. It is looking fun ahead. I'm so excited about it. Hope you guys are too. All right, let's use in the chat here today. We got Lies Beneath. How are you today? Very good. I think it's a pretty nice summer day again outside. I'm looking forward to going for a walk in that. It's going to be good. Lies Beneath the Truth is Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX, and the Center for the Win. 100%. Those are the 5 crypto golden coins from Richard Hart. And that is the maxi strategy on this channel that we follow. So a big shout out there for Richard Hart and his developer team for making that possible. We got DGN Hexkin as well. Hello. Good to see you, DGN Hexkin. We got Sandy Beach as well. Hi, Hex Token and everybody. Welcome to the chat there. Day 20 of push-up challenge. Wow. Remember, it's going to be 29 days, I think. So day 20 is on the deck there. That is the link if you want to go follow that, do the push-up challenge. And that is day 20 of 29, I believe. So get into it, folks, and share it around. Help Sandy Beach there share that around. It's the way to go. We got Brennan in the house there. Morning, folks. Good to see Brennan, our TA guru. A big shout out to you. Wookie on the spot there. You are really amazing. Hey, everybody is, aren't they? They're incredible. Thank you so much, Wookie there. We got J-Man in in the house. Good to see you, J-Man. Who else has jumped in here? Big howdy. Hello from J-Man. Good to see you. Creepy Coin. Hello. Good to see you, Creepy Coin. Welcome to the chat. Surely Fortress. Loads the pumps. Definitely load the pumps. It is going to be such a fun year, folks. Particularly the first half of the year is looking pretty hot. Crypto Dan says, hi guys, hope everybody is well. I think everybody's doing pretty cool. The markets have started to turn a little bit like we suggested yesterday. So that's kind of cool to see. We're going to be covering all those details today. All right, that's it. I see we got a couple of things here. All right, so let's go, folks. Let's get into it. We've got the stock market to kick it off. So let's bring that up. Bam. And let's see here. So stock market. The Dow ends lower as Nvidia slips against the tech sector, but Walmart shines. So that's kind of the headline today. Let's have a look at the results. So Dow Jones down 0.17%, 64 points to 38,563. S&P 500 down 0.6%, 30 points, slipping below 5,000, which is, remember, I hit that for the first time ever a little while back. It's at 4,975. Nasdaq is down 0.92%, 145 points to 15,630. So just a bit of a cooling off there with the stock market today. US dollar is down a bit as well, down to 103.96. So broken that 104 versus its trading partners, down 0.2%. And let's go down over to the commodities. West Texas at the moment. Let's have a look at that. Just give it a second to calibrate. I find sometimes it sort of updates after I've talked about it, but it is still live basically. We got apparently it's down 1.6% on West Texas, $1.30 to $77.17, and Brent oil there down 1.27%, $1. See, there we are. They flicked around. Look at that, going positive there on West Texas. Down $1 on Brent oil at $82.50. Gold is pretty much flat, just down very, very slightly at $2,035. And silver there is pretty much down 1.8% there, 43 cents to $23 for silver. Now, we're not expecting a lot of action with that until we get a interest rate pivot and the US dollar sort of devalues. How about that? And that's kind of when we're looking for a big move on silver in particular, and probably gold as well. Now, we do have a little bit of an update here around the Fed minutes. So Fed minutes to guide rate cut thinking. That's coming up. The Fed is set to release the minutes of its January meeting on Wednesday, and that could provide more insights into the central bank's thinking, with markets currently pricing in fourth quarter point rate cuts this year, starting in June. So there we are. That's where I've been targeting June. You've heard me over and over again, day after day. For now, market pricing is consistent with our call of 100 basis points of cuts starting in June. Wow. Woo-hoo, bring it on. That's all we can say. Following consumer and producer prices last week prompted concerns that Federal Reserve will keep interest rates at more than 2-decade highs. Remember, we've gone off an extremely low interest rate environment with huge monetary expansion. And then, of course, we had the fastest rate hike in history and, of course, monetary contraction. So we've gone from expansionary to contractionary in monetary policy. 2 decades high for longer than expected at the start of the year. A slew of Fed speakers this week, including Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic, governors Lisa Cook and Christopher Waller, along with Vice Chair Philip Jefferson, could also provide potential clues on monetary policy. We'll probably have a few hints of what they're going to be coming up. So that is kind of it around the Fed interest rates, and it's very important for us in crypto moving ahead. You're going to find that's very important in the second half of the year in particular for crypto. So it's going to have meaningful impact there. Let's go to the Fed rate monitor and see when the next meeting is for the Fed rate for the Federal Reserve. 4 weeks and 18 days, 18 hours to go. 4 weeks and 18 hours on the 20th of March at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're expecting a no change in interest rates. In other words, the rates will hold for the Federal Funds Reserve. They're at 5.25 to 5.5, so no change, 92% of the market there. May, we've got 65%, basically 2/3 of the market expecting a no change in May. All good with that. And June, as you guys know, is probably the most likely time we'll get a pivot now. And we have 77.1% of the market is expecting a rate pivot by June. And I think that's probably a pretty good target for the Federal Reserve. They don't, the Federal Reserve is famous for overshooting and, of course, causing more trouble than that's necessary for the economy. But we'll see how we go. I'm still expecting a recession, typically pushed out further down the back end of this year. So that's still in play. That's an issue for another time, though. All right, so we're pretty bullish on the first half of the year and maybe even get that pivot there in June. So let's see how we go. All right, let's get into crypto, though. The talk of the town, Ethereum there at 3,016. We're hitting these milestones one after another. And, of course, we might get to somewhere. We're going to talk about some price targets here in a second, but from the traders. But Ethereum at 3,016, up 1.95%. So really nice to hit that 3,000 mark. We've been hunting it since we were down at 22K, kind of stuck there, going to 24, trying to break out to that early altcoin season. And now here we are at 3,000, even bigger milestone than that $2,400 to $2,600 breakout phase at 3,000. So, man, we could really start to see some altcoin tuning here. And we've got lots of good news to come up in the first half of the year to push us higher. Bitcoin at the moment, 52,399. That's up 1% as well. So doing pretty well on the old Bitcoin. Dominance is at 50.47% for Bitcoin over the rest of the crypto. That is kind of the standout there. Now, some of the other mentions there, we've got TON up there a little bit there. It's up 8.4%. IMX as well is up 8.6%. So some two good movers there. ICP notably is down just over 5% at $13.77. So you can sort of see some of the other ones there. Otherwise, the rest of the market kind of mixed there at the moment. Let's get into Bitcoin though and look at the chart, deeper dive. Man, look at that. Woohoo! What a range today. We got a high of 53,000. Yes! Oh, that Bitcoin's getting up and away. And of course, remember the all-time high around 69. So let's bring it on. In fact, let's pull out the chart here and have a look at the weekly, shall we? On the old Bitcoin. Let's do that. Might have to do some adjustments here, as you guys know. I'll get rid of the overlays. And that is it. So that's our previous all-time high there. 69,000 there back on the 8th of November. Wow, that's looking amazing. Let's see how many weeks. This is on a weekly candles, remember. So just remember, I've switched it from daily to weekly. And there we go. Look at that. Wow. 833 days or 119 weeks. There we go. Since we got to that all-time high. And here we are climbing back up again. This is not on log scale, but you look at that. It's looking pretty tremendous on there as well. So kind of cool. Let's do some quick moon math here and quick look at where we are at the moment to all-time highs. So where we got to go? Another 31.8% to the all-time high target there. But as you guys know, we're targeting much bigger prices in this bull market cycle, which should run into either early or mid-late 2025. So somewhere in there, we'll probably have the end of that. Just depends on how things go, I think, for the US elections in particular. But that's where we are, 69. 69 is the target, so that's 31.8. But as you guys know, with the bullish market this time, maybe we'll get to that 150, 180 mark. That's probably a pretty good consensus by a lot of different analytical firms, and we've covered that, including Tom Lee is in that camp as well, who called the S&P 500 accurately for last year. He was the only one that did that last year, so it was a bit of a tick for him. But that's kind of where we are at the moment on Bitcoin. So bring it on. Let's go back to the daily though. Let's go back to the daily on Bitcoin. Bam, there we go. And let's bring in, you guys know it, let's bring in the overlays. And their Bitcoin halving is getting so close. Let's see how far away we've got to go. Bitcoin halving is getting very nice. 1 day at a time. 56 days to go. Woohoo! Bring it on. And that is hyper bullish, right? We already had super bullish stuff with the Bitcoin ETFs, and we've got more funds coming through the Bitcoin ETF. So it's starting to really deliver that new capital into crypto. Remember, stock market really has had its big run. That is one of the two risks that we have for the crypto market, is the stock market already having its breaking records already. The other one, of course, is potentially black swan event around China, Taiwan. Obviously, there's not much control we have over that, but that is just to keep mindful that is still out there. Anyway, so we've got the bullishness, though, is incredible for crypto, and the Bitcoin halving 56 days away. So bring it on, as we say, bring it on. Looking forward to it. All right, let's move on from Bitcoin and get into Ethereum. Ethereum, of course, is the talk of the town today. And, of course, look at this price, man. We got up to $3,033 on Coinbase. That's what we're looking at here, Coinbase, $3,033, and currently at $3,007. The low of today was $2,873, so it's quite a decent range. Wow. That's pretty cool. What's that, $150 or something? That is pretty decent today. And, of course, we continue the ascendancy in the results here. Let's have a look what we got coming up. Of course, so much good news still to come. And, of course, I cover this every day if you've been watching. But, man, we've got the Deacon upgrade at the moment. We've currently got Protodank sharding testing on testnet. And, of course, looking for mainnet on Ethereum coming up here on the 13th of March. So that's a Deacon upgrade. And that's going to be particularly a good leverage play for Optimism and Arbitrum. And, of course, Pulsechain, arguably. Pulsechain is like another McDonald's across the road from Ethereum, it being a full system stake copy based on the 13th of May last year, right? So we're going to get into all the details about that when we get up there. You may have a free copy of all these tokens on Ethereum that you had on the 13th of May on Pulsechain. So check them out if you're new to Pulsechain. Check it out. You may very well have tons of assets that have been priced up to some degree. So check them out. Yeah, 3 weeks to go until the Deacon upgrade on mainnet. So bullish news going into that. It does not finish. So So even after we get that, right, after the 13th, we've got the Bitcoin halving on the 17th. So that is, as you guys know, 56 days away. So we've got bullish news in 21 days, bullish news in 56 days. And then, of course, we have the potential for Ethereum ETF approvals on the 23rd of May. So it just keeps going, folks. If we go from the 17th of April over to the 23rd of May, that's another 36 days. So just over a month away from that as well. So three big ticket items. We had 4 this year, right? The Bitcoin ETFs, but now we got these 3 big ticket items as well. So the market this first half of the year just looks like spectacular, right, for crypto. I can't say much more about that. Now, there will be a lot of projects, a lot of layer 1 chains, a lot of cool stuff happening around the Bitcoin halving, right? A lot of people are going to target that for the crypto bull market. So you're going to expect to see, you know, things maybe like even X1 chain from Jack Levin launching, maybe big things happening on Pulsechain, big capital flows coming in. You watch the space on Pulsechain, going to see lots of cool things, lots of particular launches trying to happen before then. Hopefully Power City Earn protocol is going to happen before then. A lot of people are going to be targeting that you know, April with the 17th a Bitcoin fork. So just keep a lookout for that. It's going to be fun times. All right, so that's kind of the play there at the moment. Now, in the second half of the year, well, let's not finish the second half. The first half, like I say, in June, we may get that first interest rate pivot. That'd be pretty cool. If it's 100 basis points, fantastic. And, of course, we're currently 5.25 to 5.5. So if we get down to, you know, 4.5 something, that'd be pretty awesome. So we'll keep a lookout on that. And then the second half of the year, what does it hold? Well, it's questionable what it will hold. Will we get a stock market pullback following the interest rates, which we typically do? Things like that. Will anything in the second half, you know, interrupt the Bitcoin rally that we're expecting after the Bitcoin ETFs, all those sort of things. And of course, we've got the US election in November, and we're looking for a positive outcome. So we get good supply and demand economics that will extend our bull market into 25. We're obviously going to have some dips on the way, but we're looking for that mega trend as well, which hopefully will last, you know, 12 to 15 months at least. So that's kind of the play. Let's go. We're already into that zone, of course, since November, kind of around October, November there. We've probably had the technical start of the bull market there. Depends on who you're asking, but that's kind of where I feel it started. All right, that is the play. Let's get into some of the news around this Ethereum hitting 3,000, which is pretty awesome. Let's get into some news here. So the ETH rally could continue, they say, with traders targeting $3,500. So there could be a bit more in the tank here, especially with that with the Prodank Sharding Deacon upgrade from Mainnet coming up on the 13th of March as the next resistance level, as market participants anticipate that spot-based ETF exchange-traded funds could be next in line for US regulatory approval. Of course, that is down in May 23rd. We are very close in this move to levels around 3,150 to 3,300. Remember, we got the 3,033 today on Coinbase, and that is from Kenny Hearn, Swiss One's Capital's chief investment officer. He did an interview with CoinDesk there. The next level after that would be 3,600. So that's kind of the targets there: 3,150, 3,300. Next one there, 3,600. If you wanted to get some idea what some analysts think. The potential approval would boost ETH's appeal. This is in May, of course, 23rd, among more conservative institutional investors. Obviously, following May, you're expecting ETH to ramp up into the market for the second half of the year. So obviously, that's going to ramp up phase. So that could be pretty bullish for June, July, into the next year. So that into this year. So that could be pretty positive, regardless of what's happening with the macro economy and things like that. So that's pretty cool. The next level of 3,600, we think is quite easily attainable next month or so, as the alts continue to play catch up. So alts have got a lot of room to move for the rally. You know, typically Bitcoin will move first, and we've seen that. Ethereum then moves, and then the altcoin season starts kicking in, right? So we're going to have a fun year ahead of us. The potential approval would boost ETH's appeal among more conservative investors, just as new Bitcoin ETFs that debuted last month have attracted massive allocations. So we're going to expect even more capital, not only to flow in from Ethereum, but also from maybe Bitcoin swapping over into the Ethereum and altcoins. Now, Bernstein, a broker, said Monday that there is about a 50% chance of a spot ETH ETF approval in May. As you guys know, I've been saying that the probability of approval in May 23rd for the ETH ETFs, which is about 7 or so, that is not 90%. We had 90% for Bitcoin ETFs. but in May, it's not 90%. And here, one analyst gives it a chance of 50%, but a near certain probability of approval within the next 12 months. So fingers crossed we do get that in May. I think there's a good chance, 50%. I think it's probably slightly stronger than 50%. We do have quite a few similar applicants as we did for the Bitcoin ETFs like BlackRock and things like that. So I'm actually a bit more bullish on that front. But there we go. That is some analytics there and some nice little price targets here. 3,150 to 3,300 for the next target. And then if we breach that, you heard the analyst talking about 3,600, which is all the way up here. So kind of cool. Let's see how we get on. We've definitely got the news for it. So it's going to be a fun time ahead for Ethereum. Bring on altcoin season, right? That's what we all want to see. And that brings us into Pulsechain. Pulsechain started to move green. It's been about a 2-day delay. Many people commenting that, the ETH and all that seemed to move. And then Pulsechain, it's like 2 days later, Pulsechain does make their money on Ethereum, bring it over to Pulsechain. I don't know, you decide. But that is looking pretty good. We're going to talk about day 284 results for Pulsechain. Before we do that, though, let's get back in the chat there. We've got lots of charts to look at, that's for sure. All right, who else has jumped in here? Where did I get up to? Let's find out. I'm all the way back up here, actually, I can see. We got up to Wookie there. We got Property Review in the house. Says great show. Hey, thanks Property Review. Big shout out to you. Appreciate that. I've really enjoyed your channel too, by the way. What else there? We got Blobsled in the house there. Good to see you, Bobsled. Drippy as well. Welcome to the chat. A big howdy there from Bobsled. What else have we got there? We got a couple more comments. Joey Torres. Hi all. Good to see Joey. And Property Review said I subscribe to your Superman channel. Hey, nice one, Property Review. Appreciate that. Big shout out. Yeah, if you're on Hex Token channel and you want to subscribe to Superman Crypto, get on that. Also, Pulsechain X as well is another channel you can subscribe to. All helps with the algorithm, right? Let's see what else there. Craig Pick says morning all. Who else has jumped in here? J-Man says hello, Superman. Hey, good to see you, J-Man. Welcome. What's up, Tintop? Yeah, what's up, Tintop? Hey, Tintop, hope you're doing well. Charity House, Dunning and House. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, Charity. Tintop says gas fees on ETH are ramping up too. Etherscan says 44 Gwei. It has been crazy, folks, on Ethereum today. I've seen it up in 80 Gwei earlier too. So, yeah, it really has spiked on the Ethereum there with this little rally. I'm hoping it's going to cool off in the afternoon in a couple hours' time, just as it did yesterday. Fingers crossed on that. But, hey, the price is rallying at the moment. Pineapple Love in the house there. Morning, Superman. Morning to you, Pineapple Love. Pineapple Love. Welcome to the chat. And there we are. There is Wookie's link to Strategy Club if you want to join up. Get into that. We're going to have a meeting this weekend. So get on that one with the Strategy Club. All right, let's get back to it. Pulsechain results. Day 284. And we've got Pulse there at 000136. Starting to move green after a little bit of a retrace, a little bit of consolidation, bit of a cooling off of the RSI. We're up 2% there at a 38% above sacrifice price. That's mean sacrifice price. Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0497 up 3.13%. And that is doing pretty well. It is still well below sacrifice price, so about half below mean sacrifice price. So a lot of upside value there for those that are patient. And of course, the burn there, buy and burn is at 706 billion. PulseX has been bought up and burned, part of the superior tokenomics of the Pulsechain PulseX, a hybrid there, or combination, I should say combination there. That is looking pretty good. Now, more importantly, it is 3.45% of the public supply of PulseX has been bought. It's gone. It's gone for good. It's destroyed. Pretty much at 3.45% is gone burger. And that's bodes pretty well. We're probably heading for a run rate for the year, first year of PulseX of about just over 5%, 5.2 or something like that. I did a calculation last time, somewhere in that ballpark. Incentive token there at $3 flat, everybody, up 1.97%. The ratio to Pulse, though, is holding it back. It is at 22,079, but it may very well spike back up again. It has been a star performer, incentive token there. We've got how many in existence? Not much, relatively speaking. Obviously, there's always more incentive tokens coming into market from PulseX. It does have a deflation curve on it. It's at 24 on an annual basis, I recall, but it's at 24.5 million incentive tokens at the moment. The buy and burn through TRH protocol, 118,000 And of course, we're waiting for TRH version 4 that's expected to come out in April, right? So early April is probably when we reasonably expect that. So it's not too far away, really. Maybe 6 weeks or something like that, 5-6 weeks. So that's kind of the play. Hex there at the moment, 1.64 cents on PHEX, up 2.44%. EHEX is at 97 hundredths of a penny. We've got quite a bit of news around EHEX and PHEX today, so hold on to that one that's coming. But the combined price of EHEX and PHEX is back up at 2.62 cents. I think I saw it at 2.4 something earlier, so that's going back up again. But once again, we really want to smash that 3 cent range, and then it's off to the races for X. So we're going to talk more about that later. So that is day 284. Not too bad for Pulsechain. Let's go to the charts, though. This is the Pulsechain chart. So, yeah, yesterday you heard me talking about, hopefully we'll get a bit of a reprieve here. We've got add support here at 1,300, and we have managed to bounce off that today with the green candle. Good news, right? Good news. So everything played out on the positive scenario we played yesterday, and we've got 4 minutes to go in this candle. So pretty good. Pretty tight range as well. We won't go through ranges today, but the RSI has cooled off here at 55, and we're hoping to bounce off close to 50 on the RSI, and we did. So nice there, second time too. So pretty good there on the RSI. RSI is kind of a must to use, right? When you're charting, you want to buy the tops, you don't want to buy the bottoms. So use RSI as a generally good, reliable gauge for that. Unless something is really hyperly going down or going up, then it can get overheated. But that's pretty good call most of the time. The MACD there has gone negative there on the moment, but it's probably going to flip back. As I said, this might end up being a fake out. In other words, a pretty short period. Negative there on the sell side. So so far we've gone green, which is pretty good for Pulsechain. And don't forget, we've got tons of protocols to launch on Pulsechain still. So it's going to be a fun year for all the protocols launching on Pulsechain, adding more value, of course. PulseX at the moment is at $0.4974. Pretty similar story here for PulseX. Let's have a look at the RSI. RSI is bounced off pretty much 48 and is back up at 50 there. So lots of room to move on PulseX. So the charts are looking good. We got a chance to breather with the RSI for another move higher, right? So looking good there for Pulsex. We're waiting for Pulse to the Earn protocol, of course. And I know that the team there is trying to get it out and about. But of course, the Fetch Oracle is still ramping up. That looks like it could be a month or two away from the Fetch Oracle. But Earn protocol may try and launch earlier, maybe with some centralized Oracle, because they were going to do that anyway. They're going to have a hybrid between the centralized and the Fetch Oracle, but maybe they're trying to make a bigger solution there. We know some other people, I won't say some names, but some other people are boasting about doing their own Oracle, but we don't trust those ones, so let's leave it there. All right, I don't want to make a public comment, but it's pretty funny what some people say. Anyway, so we're at $3 here on Pulse. Everyone's going to wonder what I'm talking about now. We're sitting out here at 22,000. We're at the bottom of the range. We're waiting for that move to the upside. So there could be a lot of upside here on incentive if it goes back to the top of the range at 24,000. Once we break, right, it's going to be pretty fun on the old incentive token as well. And of course, there's a big scarcity play at the moment on this one. So kind of cool. Let's jump over to PHEX. PHEX at the moment having a nice little day here on PHEX, up 1.6 cents, of course. Off the bottom, it got down to 1.565, so pretty small range as well, but nice little positive here as well. Now, we may not end up getting this bearish close here now that we've got green candles. Need another good green day, which is about to start in 2 minutes, right? So we'll get another green candle. We might be able to avoid that closing out and have a super bullish move there on the EMA cross. We had a bullish move on the EMA cross back here on the 8th and 9th of February, which played out mostly. It may not actually cross into bearish, and we may have a good chance of moving up high there. We've certainly got the room in the RSI. The RSI is 49, bouncing off 47. So definitely got the room there to move. And we might have a little, like I say, another little fake out here over the next couple of days. Not fake out, but just a short bearish period. Just like we saw here with the bullish period was short. Might have a relatively shorter period there as well. All right. That is pretty much it on PX, looking pretty good. We've got a lot of news around EHEX though. Well, this is EHEX on Pulsechain, so we're looking at EHEX on Pulsechain and EHEX on Ethereum. So this is the bridge in the EHEX, and at the moment 96 hundredths of a penny. Got all the way down to 9/10 of a penny though at the bottom of the range there, so it's quite low. The RSI, of course, plenty of room to move as well, bouncing off 53 up to 56, so looking pretty good. Lots of room to move there, and probably more importantly, the MACD there looks like it's probably going to be short-lived. With a little bearish cross there, it's going to probably be short-lived and Hex is looking good with Ethereum going up. Everything's looking pretty good, right? So we should start zigzagging up there, breaking some resistance, maybe around 1 cent, and finally getting ahead here with the PHEX and EHEX rallying. Could be really cool. Now, we do have some resistance here on the old EHEX, so we're going to talk about that in a minute. That's why we're going to jump from EHEX on Pulsechain to EHEX on Ethereum. So here we are with a V3 pool here, Hex USDC. It's got 5.1 million liquidity in it. This is where the BankX has pushed its 350 million Hex on sale. Now, it is above the current market price, so they're wanting more higher prices and more millions of dollars, basically. So they're saying, we're putting it up here. You got to pay us to leave, or pay us to sell part of their portfolio. Remember, they got about 800 million from the Hex Gold Whale through the BankX sacrifice, which was a big boo-boo. But hey, look, we're moving forward into the bull market. Now, on the EHEX side, we're currently at 9600th of a penny. We've had some nice moves high here, as you can see in the candles here on the USD pair. The RSI is pretty cool at 53. Now, what does this mean? So let's jump over to Uniswap, and we can see here the BankX here. Look at this big sell wall, and it goes all the way from 1.2 cents all the way up to 2 cents here, or just 2.1 cents at the top end, and that is 1 cent range. So there it is, sitting in there. And each Hex candle here, there is about 3.4 million in this lower end. When we get up to the top end here, we've got about 5 million Hex in each of these candles, which is about 350 million in total. So that is the play at the moment from the Hex, from the BankX, a controversial project at best, and at worst, you guys can decide. All right, so there we are. At the moment, they're still looking to launch their protocols on multiple chains. Pulsechain is going to be the last one, apparently, so they're going on to other chains first. This was an update from 2 weeks ago, but we won't talk too much about that. But that is the selling stuff there. So let's actually pull it up and add in. Did I got the overlays in here? Actually, I haven't got the overlays here. So let me see. Oh, yeah, there it is. So that is the sell range that BankX is trying to get, grab more millions. Now, it'd be nice to get them out at 1 cent, which is pretty much around where we are, but they're wanting a bit more than that, right? So there we go. That's millions of dollars, right? So 3.5, they're probably trying to get between 3.5 and $7 million if they manage to exit out of there. So we've got 5.1 million liquidity. So you do the math. There's going to be quite a bit of resistance in there if it stays there. And you got to have a buy, right? You've got to have a buy there. So we'll see what happens on that one. All right, that is pretty much EHEX there. Hopefully that was a little bit of insightfulness. Let's go to the PHEX and EHEX price. EHEX and PHEX price, they're 2.6 cents at the moment on EHEX, PHEX, and we're wanting to get over the 3 cents. And of course, PHEX can help us do that a lot easier. There's got bigger, fatter liquidity, but of course, there's more players on the play. As Ethereum has that thinner liquidity pool, but it has now that big seller wall. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as we move forward here in the bull market. So yeah, trying to break that 3 cents there. We'll see how we go. Let's see if anyone's got some comments on that before we move on. We've got Andrew Reynolds in the house there. Hi, everybody. Good to see Andrew. Bob Wells as well. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the chat. Brendan says BankX could always pull their limit orders and set them higher, making people think they're only wanting 2 cent range. Since Brandon, absolutely. Good insight there. All right. That is pretty much it. Let's move on. Bob Wells says chilling like a villain. You are. All right, let's move on, folks. So this is the combined price. Man, I'm so hoping once we get over 3 cents, man, it's game on for Hex. 4 to 8 cent range and up and away, right? That's kind of the logic there. But we do still have a bit of that seller resistance here with BankX and stuff like that. We're going to see how it plays out moving ahead. We did have some nice buys today. I saw, was it a 14 ETH buy or 22 ETH buy? No, it's 32 ETH buy I think we had today. So there are buyers out there. But once again, you've got to get, got to pay these people to leave, so to speak. All right, that is PX EHEX. We'll keep a lookout on that. Now, we do have more news around Hex today, not so much around the price, but we'll get into that in a little while. We've got, in fact, most of the shows about Hex today because there's so much happening. We just talked about the price dynamics. But let's get into the rest of Pulsechain update for the day. 284. Validators at the moment, 52,604. And we've got 1.68 trillion off the market, so slightly lower than yesterday. But that is still looking very good. Looking at the gas prices, as you guys know, Ethereum is through the roof right now. And we have got our beats currently 437,000 beats, which is about twice what we're having on the low side. We're around 200,000. That was pretty low, but we've probably been double that yesterday and today at least. And we're currently at 2 cents for a Pulsechain swap. I think we're actually at 3 cents yesterday, which was on kind of on the high side. And of course, the Pulse there is at 1/10 of a penny, and PRC20 at 4/10 of a penny. So still super cheap on Pulsechain. Ethereum, for example, currently coming off its spike today at 43 Gwei. I have seen it up at 80 plus, 80, 90 even. It's currently at 43 Gwei at the moment, and we're 2,171 times cheaper than Ethereum. So it's a great place to do business on Pulsechain. $46 for a swap at the moment on Uniswap. There we go. And we're 1,500 times cheaper than Bitcoin, almost at $1.85 in Bitcoin, which is pretty good. You can see across these other chains, we are pretty competitive on that. Not only are we competitive in terms of price and speed in this case, but price as well for doing transactions. We are also got amazing compounding protocols and amazing profit sharing protocols, which is a couple of big reasons to be on Pulsechain. So tell your friends to come over to Pulsechain because it is a great place. We've got so many protocols launched, so many protocols to come, so many devs doing some cool stuff, and it is fun to see them all play up. So we've got Tetra coming, we've got Jacob's ecosystem rolling out, we've got Power City. There's so many coming out. Magic Carpet Ride. There are multiple protocols. A lot of these ecosystems. It's going to be absolutely awesome. A lot of quality ones too. That's the key. Having a lot of those quality ones coming up there. All right, let's go into the bridge and have a quick look, see how much money is over the bridge there. Yeah, we're up a little bit there from yesterday, about $1 million, $141.5 million on the old bridge there. Obviously, we've got EHEX there starting to rise up a little bit there in price probably, but otherwise we're looking pretty good. So still sitting around 45 million on the die. But watch this number in the months ahead, folks. Watch this number, particularly around the Bitcoin halvening in there in April the 17th. It's going to be a lot of fun to see where these numbers change from month to month. So remember that number and watch it grow. That's all I'm going to say. All right, is that it? I think that's it. We'll have one more mention of the lock liquidity. So we've got 1.68 trillion Pulse locked in the validators. We've got 1.16 trillion locked in liquid loans. We've got a total of almost 3 trillion locked in amongst all the protocols there. So it's looking pretty amazing versus, say, around 16 trillion. So we're doing pretty well. It's about 18.5 to 19%, say, that is locked away on Pulsechain, which is pretty amazing. All right, let's move on, though. That's day 284. We're going to be starting day 285, probably after the live stream, so that's kind of cool. Let's get into the other categories. So we talked about Richard Hart tokens. We're going to talk about the top PRC20s, which is our second price category. So let's get into that. At the moment, we're sorting by liquidity, right? Got the bigger liquidity pools. These are my custom lists. And here we are with PDI at the moment, up 9% to almost 2,300 on the price. So that's looking pretty good. I find PDI so fun to watch. I think a lot of people do. And of course, you've got the association with the Troper and things like that. And we're waiting. Can it do something magical? Can it actually, in a bull market, not today, not tomorrow, but in a bull market, can it do something spectacular? Can it get to $1 even for a day, or even a minute, even for a minute? I don't know. But it's going to be fun to see. PDI at the moment at 2,200th of a penny. Some people absolutely deny this could happen, of course, but this is crypto. So I'm always an optimist there. And even if it doesn't happen, it's fun to watch, right? So there we are, 2,200th of a penny. And of course, let's have a look at the RSI. The RSI has got to cool off. As you guys know, I said it needs to cool off, and it cooled off. So everything is going pretty well with the combination of the RSI and the chart itself. PDI getting ready to break to new highs, right? So the 1 cent is the natural target, right? So got to break out of that previous high, of course, which was a 3,200 or 3,200th of a penny. But man, we are. It's looking good there with a bit of room for the RSI. And we'll see how we go. But that's definitely one to keep a watch on. It is highly speculative, but certainly fun to play that narrative and see where we go. All right. So what else there? A treasury bill, which is a new token on Pulsechain, not a copy like PDI was, is up 16%. A Troper is up 9% there, a new contract too. A Teddy Bear is up 90%. So some nice little moves there at the moment on those riskier ones. They get to get those big gains up and down, right? So you got to be just take that into account. Wrap Bitcoin, which I also think might follow the Bitcoin narrative. That is at just below $80 at the moment, up 4%. That's like a boss too. I'm really enjoying this narrative as well. It's good to have enjoy the ride, right? But this here, it faced a little resistance here, in this $90 range. And of course, you can see my yellow line here. It's the kind of resistance here, and I got rejected last time. and let's see if it can break it. Once it does, I really think it can do some spectacular things in the bull market. So we'll be watching this old Wrap Bitcoin. Remember, it's not actually backed by hardcore Bitcoin like Wrap Bitcoin is over on Ethereum. There's no custodial type of setup, but we will see how that goes with the narrative. Pretty cool. All right, so that's kind of the highlights there. Let's see what else is looking interesting. LUSD, the liquidity token that got forked over, that is up 10% today. A little quiet one. We don't talk about it too much every so often, but LUSD there from liquidity over on Ethereum. Remember when Terra Luna went crashing, liquidity's LUSD went pumping because everyone wanted a quality asset. But we have our own liquidity forks over on Pulsechain. Of course, we've got USDL, and we're going to have PXDC, PDX. So yeah, I got to remember I have that down, but yeah, we got that coming too. All right, what else we got going? We got that coming at the moment. Let's see what else is going on at the moment. BitTorrent as well. You guys know BitTorrent, man, oh man, Tron and BitTorrent, but we've got BitTorrent on there at the moment, up 26%. Pretty small liquidity pool, but there we go. BitTorrent there is up a little bit there. Some of these little quiet ones, nice can sneak up on you. All right, that's our second category, PRC20s. Let's have a look at the next one, which is meme coins. And with the meme coins, it really got a lot of influences, right? So a lot of influences on the meme coin list. So let's have a quick look at some of these. We're sorting by liquidity at the top, so going from top to bottom. We've got Access Alive, of course, a TA, a Guru, and of course a big influence in the Pulsechain Hex community. He has got his price token at the moment at 22,332, and of course, look at that chart, looking pretty badass on that chart. You can see definitely some big volume plays coming in. So some sort of activity there. You can decide where that's coming from. If you're keeping close to the community, you may be able to get insight into that. But there we go. At the moment, holding up pretty well. Up 2%, not too much there. Blaster is down 5%. Note token from Randy Alaski, obviously a big influencer in Pulsechain Hex community as well. That is currently at 21/100th of a penny. So just a little bit of sell-off there in the last day or so, last day or two. But other than that, holding up very well indeed. And you can see back here, we got this big pump, right? Back on the 21st of January, they had a big volume come in there. What have we seen happen with it? We've seen some liquidity pools farming on the 9-inch exchange. This is bullish for Note Token. We've seen Note Token also get on Pulsepot, which has also been bullish too. One of the tokens you can use over there. And of course, Pulsepot is really firing on all cylinders at the moment as the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino. And Randy has a Wednesday game start now with Pulsepot. So looking good. Pretty fun there. So there's some things happening there. Mega is at the moment up 3% there. Reflux is down 4%. What else is looking pretty interesting? Hex Orange Address. This is like A-Bits community, isn't it? This is up pretty much flat, but just up slightly there. Just over 0.5% is at 6 cents on XOA. And of course, HOA, I should say. Paul Pleb, Hexy Bastard, another influencer / founder. Paul Pleb there. This was $1 million sacrifice for Paul Pleb. That is currently at 4,000. That's pretty flat today. Duck Token, the new token out there, 49%. Massive move on Duck Token. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, big jump there. 8 zeros, 7,300 to, sorry, 9 zeros, 7,300 up to 8 zeros, 1,100 there. Liquidity 52K, market cap 1.1 million there on the old Duck Token. This is supposed to be Greg the Duck. But I don't know. But there we go. We've got some other stuff happening here. Let's have a look here. Dodge token there. So it's Dodge token from Jeff Kadakis from Trust Swap there. That is up 17.5%. So nice little play on that one. And that's kind of the highlights there for the meme coins / influencer coins. Let's get into our main category though. Pulsechain projects. Let me know in the chat there if you've excited about any of these or if you've got any new tokens. Normally I don't invite new token spamming, but if you got something new, let us know that you're excited about. Limited time only. All right, so get in there, folks. We got the what else? We got this is the main category of Pulsechain projects. So these are a lot of utility projects, a lot of team projects, a lot of high quality, and generally is in this list. Now there's always a few rotten, bag eggs or underperformers. We've still got a couple of those on the list, but other than that. Where we get a lot of the value from, right? Dexes and Dex aggregators and things like that. All right, so we've got Halgo at the moment is up 1.6%. Let's have a look out for the highlights here. What token? As I said, Power City Earn protocol is coming up. That's going to collateralize PulseX, issue our third stablecoin PXDC, and of course that's going to be super bullish for Pulsechain, potentially tens of millions of dollars of value. And at the moment, this is still in the accumulation zone. You can see people are slowly accumulating. It's got a slow rise going on here, currently at 45/100th of a penny, so just under half a cent, and definitely a lot of upside potential in this. Market cap at the moment, $10 million. Remember that Power City is a ecosystem. There's going to be 6 protocols, inclusive of the core protocol, which is where you stake your Watt token. That is currently live at the moment. So you got PortalX and Core live, but we're waiting for Power City Earn protocol. And of course, they've got a couple of other protocols, including a liquid loans front end coming as well. And of course, they've got the number 7 NFT market, Pixel Park. They say it's going to have game-changing features. They're going to change NFT markets. So we're looking forward to Pixel Park number 7. We've got 6 launched already. We got number 7. This is going to be from Power City, and apparently it's going to be magnificent. So we're looking forward to it. The team is definitely one of our blue chip teams, one of the top 2, I would say, maybe top 3 the blue chips. And of course, I'm doing pretty well there at the moment. But they have an issue around the Fetch Oracle, and we're looking forward to their solution around that. So let's see. Probably be pretty centralized, is my guess, to start off with at least. Will it be fully immutable when they launch, or will they have some private keys to upgrade to the Fetch Oracle? That's going to be interesting to see anything around that. All right, so that is kind of it on the Watt tokens. Definitely a blue chip, one of the ones that you may want to accumulate if you're looking for that sort of high quality protocol. What else is looking pretty interesting? Tetra is up 7%, 7.3%. We talked about PulsePot, PLSP. That is looking like a boss app, $7.53. 2 days ago, we got to $7.87, $7.80. So, yeah, some terrific prices here. This chart is looking spectacular. Well done to Jacob. Of course, we cover his protocols all the time. I did an update only about 4 or 5 days ago on the ecosystem based on Archie's notes from the Twitter space. So definitely check that out if you want an update around PulsePot, BNB Pot, TYCZ, TRH V4, and of course my personal favorite PUSD Algo, potentially the fourth stablecoin on Pulsechain, right? So that is looking good. So $7.53 at the moment on PulsePot, doing pretty good. Some more games coming as well in a couple of days. So looking forward to that. 3 games actually. That's going to be fun. All right, what else is looking interesting here? Let's just jump through some of those. Mintra's up 3%. NFT marketplace, Up tokens up 3.4%. Up token, being a liquid loans type of protocol. What else there is looking pretty good? Let me jump through some of this. Internet Money up 8.7%. Not too bad on there. Hocus Pocus as well with the yield farming wizard. You can go find all the yields on there. It's pretty amazing. And they got their own DeFi GameFi on there too, including cauldrons and stuff like that. And of course, they're one of the 6 existing NFT markets as well up and running. They're up 8% as well. So another quality project here. What else is looking pretty interesting? Let's jump through some of this. Vemp. Vemp had a good day yesterday. It's down 15% today. Vemp is Web3 gaming. And not yesterday, actually. They were down up the other day. So 3 days ago, they've obviously sold off from there. They're up at 1.3 cents. Currently just below 1 cent at the moment on the old Vemp. But they had quite a bit of news coming out over the last 24 hours around gaming. So I'm not sure why the price is down there. Let's jump back out. Let's see what else is there. We're going to come into TRH there. So let's just jump in. So that's the Pulsechain tokens at the moment, Pulsechain projects, I should say. But let's have a little zoom in on TRH, which is one of Jacob's ecosystems. Obviously, it's got PulsePot, but we're waiting for TRH V4. That's coming out in probably early April, somewhere around there. And at the moment, I see a big sell-off in these tokens. I'm not sure what's driving that, but they had been making some nice little gains the last couple of days. It looks like they've been sold off for some reason. But anyway, down 14% on plant water. Might be some real opportunities in there. Definitely get into our Discord if you want to check out some of the opportunities, because Archie has he's one of our moderators, and he is a master of TRH. So if you want to get in there, get some insights, you've probably got some insights about what's going on here. But definitely some sell-offs there and some opportunity to buy when people are selling off. If there's a good reason, because we are waiting for TRH V4 in early April, and it's supposed to be quite a big upgrade. Now, I didn't realize that's 5 or 6 weeks away, but you typically got to buy before the rally, right? Before the rally there. All right, so that's going to play there. What else was I going to look at there? We'll have a quick look at 9inch2 by itself. So those are the 9inch tokens. Let's have a look at the BBC incentive token at the moment. It's at 9.8 cents almost. So almost 10 cents there. Was over 10 cents the other day. It's at 1.65%. So nice to see the incentive token there on 9inch doing better. The main token, 9inch there on Pulsechain, is at 1483. So that's kind of just holding its pattern at the moment. Yeah, just holding pretty much in this range after having a nice little rally back there. I think it's still technically below the sacrifice price, which I think was a bit higher here. Was it 1653 or something like that? So I think it's still slightly below that. Of course, it also has a copy of itself on Ethereum, right? So that's the other play. Was that all I was going to talk about? Let's talk quickly about the PRC 404s. So these are the first couple. There are obviously more 404s launching, but the first one, of course, is Go First there, up $114. So that's definitely pulled back. This is from Dipcatcher and the Maximus team. Let's go to the daily candles here. Have a look at that. That's the daily. Yeah, got all the way up to what, 1163. It's now down to $914. Now this is after the snapshot, presumably, with the party token launch. So that's a bit of a sell-off there happening there. So it's going to be interesting to see where this lands. He's got some pretty clever V3 tokenomics on Pulsechain. So it's fun to see this 404 contract. Remember, 404 contract is kind of like a combination of a PRC20 and a PRC721, so a token and an NFT. And it's a really clever way of funding NFTs, kind of how you look at it. So that's a 404 contract there. And they're still experimental, really. Both on Ethereum and Pulsechain. So we'll just, keep a tab on that. But Dipcatcher's done a fantastic job on these, and the artwork's pretty cool with the gophers, as you can see. They'll look pretty cool. And lots more to come from that, no doubt. So that is happening there. Let's get into some of the news, though, around Party. So let's go find the Party token on the Pulsechain. Now, this is around Hex, right? So Hex updates. I did say that we're going to have a lot of stuff around Hex. So here's Party token that launched. And you can see here it has sort of had a big rally, zigzagged around here. It's currently at 6.3 cents at the moment on Party token. And I know some people have been really enjoying it. So congratulations to them. Now, let's have a look at some of the news here. This is about 2 hours old, but Maximus said that 13 Hex stake pools. So obviously they launched the token first, the Party token, and then, of course, the stake pools were up and running. They also had the NFT names as options as well. But the 13 Hex stake pools have been launched on Pool Party on Pulsechain. So in the first day, pretty much, that is the results. So pretty awesome. Over 1.5 million Hex has already been pulled. Remember that the Pool Party is about Hex stake pools. That's where people join together in a single pool, and they stake together there. Now, there is a little fee for the founder who sets up the pool. Really depends. It's called organizer fee. But you can see the list of the ones currently that you can participate. You can do that today. Now, obviously, you want to get into typically ones that you think are going to do well. Get bigger pays, better bonus, have potentially maybe exit liquidity pools, things like that. So there's a few things to look at. But at the moment, you can see this organizer fee. This one here's got 5%. This one here's got 0.5%. Some of them have no fee. So they've all got different fees here. 3% on this one, etc. So pretty interesting. Now, they all have different lengths. So pool length here, 10 days for this one, PX. This one here is pretty popular, AER, 91 days. I covered QTR yesterday. That was 90 days. So it's staking every 90 days kind of thing. I think they have quite a large open entry window, but that's kind of the play at the moment. You can see this one, PHEX, here has got 1.2 million in it. These other ones have only got a little bit of Hex in it at the moment, but it's going to be interesting to see how this evolves over the next couple of weeks and months ahead, right, to gain traction. So keep a lookout for that. This one here is it's got a plus token here. It's called 16 is the ticker. 1,616 days, got 78,000 in it with a 1.6% fee. So there's lots of different staking pools you can participate in with your Hex if you want to. This one here is called Chad. It's this one by Orange. This looks like one of the Orange guys' things, but I don't know who's running that. But Chad, 555 days. And it's got 155,000 in it at the moment, but no fee of entry. So there's lots of options there from Pool Party. And, of course, you can participate that in the actual protocol. You just have to go and sign up and all that sort of stuff. But make sure you got Hex in there, and you can go and join one of these different parties here. What else? You can join a stake pool. So you just hit this join a stake pool down the bottom. You'll be able to find a list of these pools, no doubt. I'm not signed on, but you should populate. I'm thinking. Let's see. Populating in real time. It's having a think. See if it loads without me signing on. It's still ticking away. Anyway, that's where the pools are. We'll come back to that. Let's have a quick look at some of the other news around Maximus. See what else they've got going. What else they got cooking? Let's see here. So lots of cool stuff happening there. That was their other post. Now, this is their contract course, 0099. That's the pool party site that I just jumped on there. What else there? That's kind of it. Yeah, let's go. Bam. Party is designed to pump. I like that. So lots of cool stuff happening there. Keep your tabs on Maximus and Dipcatcher and Gold Key. They are the ones to watch around updates there. I'll probably need to be signed on here potentially for this to load. That's my guess. But anyway, that is kind of cool. Hex staking pools. We love it. We do know that, of course, that Magic Cup Ride started streaming yesterday. They are going to be bringing another form of Hex staking pools with the Stakehouse. So we're looking forward to that too. So we've got all this growth happening on top of Hex, which is wonderful early on in the bull market too. So it's kind of bullish like that. So that is kind of the play there. Check it all out. You might have to sign on with your wallet. Obviously, it wasn't rendering there for me, but that is the cool thing for pool party, doing pretty well. All right, then we're going to get into Hex, of course. We're currently 25 minutes past the hour. We should have the Hex, of course. You can get Hex on Ethereum or Pulsechain, and then you can burn your Hex for T-shares and start mining more Hex. So Hex, obviously, one of the few coins to do a 10,000 X in the last bull market. So it is going to be fun to see it break out this bull market as well. So we're going to look at the results for day 1541. We haven't got those out at the moment. There seems to be something wrong with the API or RPC or whatever they've got going API there. It's not updating in the last couple of days, so I'm not sure what. Obviously, they're not watching it because they haven't fixed it up from the looks of it. But there we go. Now, we got yesterday's result. And now, I didn't cover yesterday's result because it was just not out yet at the time. But man, oh man, I wish I had still been on because we had a big jump in the share rate yesterday for the 19th of February for day 1540. Man, oh man. Now, the price was down 6% that day, but the payout per T-share was at 6.985%, which was a strong day for payouts. But the talk of the town was this share rate increase. Wow, 847. Isn't that crazy? 847, and we jumped from 32,400 to 32,247, folks. Big deal there. Wow, that was huge. So that means that for a spot T-share, you need an extra 847 Hex. So in total, you need 33,247. Now, obviously, you can do longer pays better, bigger pays better, and stuff like that. But earlier pays better, right? So because the share rate goes up means you need more X. And of course, there we go. All right, so that is the place there, 33,247. It went up on Pulsechain as well, but this is on Ethereum results there. Pretty cool. Nothing's really changed too much with these yields, so we'll jump through that for yesterday. We were down 14,000 T-shares to 9,575,000. What else we got going on there? The penalty we got on Ethereum yesterday were pretty nice, 3.6 million almost, with a big fat reward pool there. So if you get T-shares, you're in the ownership pool. And of course, you get a share of this reward pool here, this payout pool, every day. So at 66.9 million, we got boosted by penalties, as where people don't keep the responsibilities when they're mining Hex with their T-shares. And so it goes, you get paid 50% of it goes to you as part of, relative to your share of the pool, of the T-share pool. And pretty awesome there. Now, growth numbers yesterday, we're up 13 liquid and actually up 3 on the miners too. So a little break from the pattern of reduced miners. We had 3 more miners yesterday, 118,886. So not too bad, right? Not too bad. So we are waiting for day 1541. We'll see whether it comes out. But let's go back in the chat here and see how we go. All right. Let's get. I told you we had a lot of news there. So what we talked about? Talked about the price of Hex, the EHEX there, the bank Hex wall between 2.1 and 3.1 cents there. We talked about the Hex new Hex staking pools. In forms of pool party where people can go and set up their own custom ones. I think this really sets up well for influencers. So we've got tons of influence in the Hex and Pulsechain space. I think it's really cool. If you've got a big network, it's probably pretty cool. If you've got some influence or you want to do some private thing with an extended family or something like that, it's got options there as well. So it is pretty exciting, the amount of Hex news that we've had lately. And of course, there we had that news around the share rate jumping yesterday, 847 Hex per T-share. Pretty badass. So lots of things happening in the Hex ecosystem as we enter this bull market. And of course, if we get over that 3 cents, it's up and away. We're in the 4 to 8 cent range and then up from there. It's pretty cool. Now, we do have some bullish stuff here. As you guys know, I went through some price estimates from influencers out there. Went through from Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy, or formerly BitBoy. Maybe he'll be BitBoy again. We also went through Hexologist, who gave a nice little price forecast, and we also went through Toby Wan ex Sanobi, who gave us a super bullish price, which we always like. Now, any of these prices are definitely possible if you want to bring in the Richard Hart Master into the game, and of course he's definitely on the field. So it's going to be fun to see where the Hex price actually goes, as well as, of course, Pulsechain, right? Which is pretty exciting. All right, we're one hour into the live stream. Let's get into the chat and see who else has jumped in here as we wrap things up. I'm going to see if we do get day 1541 off the press. We'll talk about that. Let's see here. Let's see, where did I get up to? We got Bob there chilling like a villain. Hey, Bob, you are crushing it. Sandy says, is the Earn protocol launching soon? There was a cryptic tweet from the pit boss. Yes, it does look like they're trying to ramp up for that. I don't think they're waiting for the fetch oracle. That's what I'm saying. It's just going to be interesting to see whether they have keep any master keys or anything like that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to find out. So definitely looks like they're teasing us for a launch coming up. That is the next blue chip on Pulsechain. We can't wait for it to launch. They definitely want to get out before the Bitcoin halving. So I think that's definitely on their minds. And like I say, a lot of projects will probably wanting to be targeting that. Like I say, I think we might see other chains and other protocols launching around that time because it's such a bullish time. We got Randy Alaski in the house there. Good evening, everybody. Big shout out to Randy. And of course, we talked about No Token earlier. A big shout out, absolutely crushing out there with content, of course. So if you haven't followed Randy, and check him out. And of course, he's got his no permissions following in there as well, group, analytical group. So get in on that one too. Brandon says BankX be a villain, that's for sure. Yeah, it's kind of the villain. There's probably a couple of villains, but it's probably definitely one of the villains there. We'll see what they do. But anyway, like I said, 2 weeks ago, they were talking about potentially launching on multiple chains. And I can't remember the first one they were going to launch out. And then they said Pulsechain will be the last. So we'll see what happens. They're watching the SEC, and so they should. So they should be. All right. Let me see. Jump through some of that. Who else have we got jumping in here? Let me just jump through all those comments. We're going down. Let me jump through all those comments. Tim Top says Tetra bouncing off that dip. Says Tim Top. That's true. We got Blobfish King in the house there, the emoji king. Looking good there with those emojis, mate. Using them well. That's how we talk about it. Randy Lasky, Pulsepot 9-inch, PHUX 9M Pro. So there's some good suggestions there. Pulsepot 9-inch, PHUX, and 9M Pro. That's the liquidity, right? So doing pretty well there for No Token. What else we got going there? Charity says, I think PRC 404s are a cool idea, Superman. Gophers, yeah, well, Gophers were done masterfully. They were the first ones up, and there are other teams launching PRC 404s out there, but a lot of them are new teams. Don't really know who they are and stuff like that, so you got to take extra caution. But definitely, with Maximus, it's all good, right? All good, and performing like a boss. Archie, ask Archie, but I think TRH is a dead deal. As soon as Pulsepot was successful, the devs go to where the money is. Sad because TRH amazing and the most fun. No, well, the last update was actually that the TRH before probably look quite a different protocol, and the tokens will have different uses there. But we're expecting early April for that. So I've heard no change. That's just the latest stuff that I've heard. So if there's any change today, for example, we'd have to find out. Let's have a look. I haven't seen. There was nothing in Discord earlier today from Archie, so I've seen no change around that. There was going to be some announcement actually from. There was going to be some announcement from Jacob that was going to be exciting today, so I'm not sure what that means. Let's see if there's anything in the Pulsechain updates there. So let me check those out. Yeah. So Archie says here, a whale just a rage quit TRH. So there is a super fire sale on Plant right now. Burn, Water, and Holy it could be a entry point leading into April. So it could be a good opportunity for you to pick up on this whale dump and the market dump 20 Holy. They market dump TRH, and it's the lowest PLS ratio since the end of last July. So could be a big opportunity here. Like I say, all the information I've given you is all current, and I've heard no changes there and seen nothing there. So that is pretty much the the play at the moment. So at the moment, fire sale, good opportunity before TRH launches in early April. What else there? European Whale says, my pool party is called Synep. A nice one. I didn't actually see that one on the list. I was looking at certain ones, so but that's great. We might look at that another day. What's that? James says, I just picked up some XLR. I think it will have a nice little run this bull. All right, cool. All right, I'll check that out too. Let me take a little snapshot of that. Bam. I like to check out things before I talk about them. It's pretty normal. Don't want to pump any crap coins. That's really hard to avoid. Randy says, did you participate in the Forge Cyrator? No, I haven't. I haven't even heard of that actually, so I'll check that out too. Another one on the list there. Brennan says, one T-share top was 9K last market. This one, yeah, 9,000. Was it $9,200 for T-share last bull market? Let's see where we're headed at the moment. At the moment, it's $321 for a share price. I think if you equated it with the same price at the moment, with the share rate up at 33,247, it would be around about $16,000 to $17,000. So really is adjusted for the share rate, it's a lot higher now. Hit the like button, peeps. Absolutely. We're up to now in 6 minutes, so we've still got a bit of time left, and we've got the daily results out for Hex, so we're going to talk about that in a minute. Thank you, Hex Token. Great show as always. Appreciate that, Sandy Beach. You're crushing it too. Full moon soon. Fill your bags. Hex Bag says Al Pacino. Absolutely fill your bags up. Stacked up on Hex, says J-Man. Yeah, you don't want to miss out. Once it goes over 3 cents combined, it's up and away, right? So we'll keep a look at that particularly. It's going to be fun to see that play out. Time dividend looking really good, says J-Man. Yeah, time has been delivering really well, and the fundamentals are starting, downloads are going up. The partnerships and integrations are going up amongst other protocols on Pulsechain, and of course the revenue is going up and the swapping is going up. So it's all heading in the right direction for the old time token on Pulsechain at least. So good observation there. All right, let's get into our final topic because we've still got Hex data stats out. So day 1541, hot off the press, and of course that's the 20th of February. This is Hex on Ethereum. Is at 9600th of a penny, up 3.7% from yesterday. We've got the payout today, another spectacular 6.9. Man, this is great having T-shares because you're just getting paid more and more. The T-share pool may be getting smaller, but you're getting paid more. So that's kind of good. And we're entering a bull market. It's kind of the holy grail, right? What a great lineup. There we go. So currently share rate at the moment, no change today after yesterday's epic move. $321 for T-share price. That's the spot rate. Right, obviously longer pays better, bigger pays better, all that sort of stuff. Mining, average mining length 6.79 years at the moment. APY rate 38%, so amazing returns there for existing T-share miners. And of course, a T-share stands for trillions of shares. So just to make sure you realize what that is, part of the ownership pool. Now, speaking of the ownership pool, we're up 4,500 T-shares yesterday, up today, sorry. And of course, that's 9,579,000 T-shares in the ownership pool. It is getting smaller all the time. Remember, it used to be up over 11. I think it was 11.2 million T-shares in there. So it's slowly shrinking the ownership pool. And, of course, the ownership pool gets the reward pool, right? So that's pretty how simple X is, ownership pool and reward pool. If you want to explain it to somebody, that's it. That's pretty much it. All right, so let's scroll over to the right. 9.71% of all Hex is locked at the moment. We had another great day of penalties, 2.3 million. And, of course, 50% of that goes into the reward pool. And here's this reward pool. We're talking about 66 million. So if you've got T-shares, you're getting a share of that. And, man, the payouts are going up and away. It's so much fun. So really cool to be a T-share owner on Hex. We're up 32 liquid holders on the Ethereum side. We're down 2 miners. We're at 118,884 miners. So you can become a miner today, of course, pick up those Hex. Now, we haven't got any updates for Pulsechain. The feed's just not feeding through the last couple of days. So there we go. So we're on day 1542 at the moment on the old Ethereum. And we were on day, what did I say it was? Day 287. Is that what we're on for Pulsechain? Let me just double check. 285, sorry, 285 for Pulsechain just started. So there we go. All right, what a day, what an update. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Ethereum hitting 3,000, got to be a highlight, man. Bring on altcoin season. Really is incredible. We've busted through 2 big resistances there in recent times on Ethereum. And 3,000, what a crusher. And we've got so much good stuff coming up for the first half of the year. It's going to be so good. All right, bring on Pulsechain too. Pulsechain is ramping up. And I'm going to I'm going to leave you this message from Hexo with his bullish Hex price prediction. If you love Hex, we've had a lot of content today on Hex. And of course, the channel is called Hex Token Channel. We also have Superman Crypto and Pulsechain, so check out all those other channels as well. We're streaming to over 10,500 subscribers. And a big special thank you to all you guys that follow every day. Let's see what else we got there. Cheers, Superman says, Brennan, you're most welcome. Great show, says Bob Wells. I appreciate that. I'll leave you with Hexo. Let's go. And take care, everybody. Bye for now. Catch you in Discord. See you later on. Bye.
Prediction, June 2025. Dude, I think PHEX does a 300 or 400x this bull run, dude. 300 or 400x, $3 to $4 possibly. Why not? Sure. No financial advice. Don't take that as anything, but yeah, why not? 300 or 400. But dude, guys, this is going to be huge. The second pump or the second bull run is going to be huge for Hex, because look at all the stuff we have behind it. Look how many people are now coming into the Hex ecosystem or the RH ecosystem and coming in and wanting to be part of it, right? They want to be part of it. We got BitBoy, we got big influencers now talking about it. And when it starts to run, you don't think that these guys are going to try to jump on board. They're going to try to catch some of the wave. They're going to hop on board, guys. We don't have the scam ties as much. And the biggest thing, what happens when Richard Hart defeats the SEC, and then, just think about the price then. What do you think the price is going to just do once the SEC gets just eviscerated in court? Boom, right? And then he starts implementing cool new tech into Pulse X, like single-sided staking or, whatever else, new farms and all this other stuff. What happens? Like, do you not think that these things are all just going to be like, holy smokes, this ecosystem is awesome? Hex, are you saying we should all get lives and go do stuff? Well, you should have been doing that while the bear run was happening. Now that the bull run is here, you've lost your life. Now you're going to have to actually come out and work, right? Like, bull run is when we all should start working. This is when we got to get the word out, especially right now, right before the bull run. Get people in, get people excited, get people, pumped up for what's about to come. The people that are like, yeah, maybe $1 Hex. You're lame. $1 Hex, that's lame. What is that, like a 50x from here? Stop being lame. Who wants a 50x in crypto? That's the lamest thing I've ever heard in my life. 50x? Pfft.